Welcome to Mind Blow, the ultimate destination for jaw-dropping content that will surprise, inspire, and entertain you every step of the way. If you love discovering the unexpected, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and share with your friends to keep the excitement going. Your support helps us keep blowing minds and creating content you'll never forget. So buckle up and get ready, because this is just the beginning.
Good evening. Tonight, breaking news is shaking the world's capitals. China has accepted a landmark proposal from the Philippines to de-escalate South China Sea tensions and launch a sweeping partnership. This could alter Asia's balance of power, challenging decades of U.S. dominance. The deal offers China joint development rights for oil and gas in disputed waters. In return, Manila seeks a code of conduct and a halt to Chinese patrols. For years, the South China Sea has been a flashpoint, threatening to draw in the U.S. Has the Philippines traded one dependency for another? As of November 22, 2025, the map of global power is being redrawn before our eyes.
What did the Philippines offer? A grand bargain, joint exploration of oil and gas in the West Philippine Sea. This sets aside the 2016 Hague ruling. In return, the Philippines seeks peace for its fishermen.
The motivations are urgent: investment and energy security. The Marcos administration bets on economic cooperation with China. For China, it's a strategic gift, driving a wedge between the U.S. and its ally. Critics argue the Philippines trades sovereignty for short-term gains. Is this an olive branch or a Trojan horse? The world is watching.
If this agreement solidifies, the first changes will be economic. A surge of Chinese investment in Philippine infrastructure, ports, railways, telecoms. For Filipinos, this could mean jobs and better services. Joint energy exploration could lower costs and boost government revenue.
Militarily, the deal could reduce Chinese patrols, but may introduce joint patrols, Philippine and Chinese vessels working together. This could open the door to joint training, intelligence sharing, and even Philippine purchases of Chinese military hardware, a dramatic shift from U.S. reliance. The diplomatic message: the U.S. security guarantee is no longer the only option. China would tout this as proof of its community of common destiny. For Manila, it's a delicate balancing act, navigating new ties with Beijing while trying to maintain U.S. relations. But the risks are real. Chinese loans could lead to a debt trap, and joint patrols could give China de facto control over disputed waters. The Philippines risks alienating not just the U.S., but also Japan, Australia, and Europe. The country could find itself isolated from democratic allies, ever more dependent on Beijing. The stakes: economic growth, military autonomy, and diplomatic freedom, all on the line. The dominoes are set to fall.
The news has landed like a bombshell in Washington. The Philippines is a cornerstone of America's Indo-Pacific strategy. Its location is critical, at the junction of the Pacific and South China Sea, a key part of the first island chain. Losing Manila as a military partner would cripple U.S. power projection, especially regarding Taiwan.
The U.S. response: diplomatic pressure, high-level envoys, and reminders of the 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty. Washington might threaten to review military aid and joint exercises, but pushing too hard could backfire. Economically, the U.S. could review trade preferences and use its influence in global financial institutions to scrutinize loans and aid. American businesses may hesitate to invest in a country deepening ties with China. But sanctions could hurt ordinary Filipinos, fueling anti-American sentiment and validating Manila's pivot. Ultimately, the U.S. may have to rethink its entire Asia strategy, strengthening ties with Vietnam, Japan, and Australia to counterbalance China. This could lead to a more confrontational bloc, raising the risk of miscalculation. A more aggressive U.S. posture could provoke Beijing, accelerating an arms race. The risk of direct confrontation between the world's two superpowers grows. The stakes for global security have never been higher. The U.S. faces a new, uncertain reality in Asia. The world holds its breath.
The Philippine pivot would send shockwaves through ASEAN. For Vietnam and Malaysia, Manila's move is deeply unsettling, shattering fragile regional unity.
ASEAN's bargaining power would weaken, making a meaningful code of conduct in the South China Sea even harder. Some states, like Cambodia and Laos, would applaud Manila, creating a pro-China bloc within ASEAN. Others, wary of Chinese dominance, Vietnam, Singapore, might double down on US and Japanese ties. The region could fracture into competing allegiances, ending ASEAN's era of neutrality. Indonesia might try to rally maritime states, but smaller nations would face a tough choice: bandwagon with China, or balance against it. Every diplomatic meeting becomes a tightrope walk.
A senior Vietnamese diplomat told us, "Manila has made its choice. Now we must make ours. We cannot stand alone." The era of ASEAN centrality may be ending, replaced by a polarized, unstable Southeast Asia. The region is caught in the crossfire of a great power competition that is no longer cold, but very, very hot.
As the dust settles, 4 futures could emerge. First, the Pax Sinica. The Philippine deal becomes a template, other states follow, and China sets the rules. The South China Sea becomes a Chinese lake. Second, American pushback. The US rallies allies, imposes costs on Manila, and Asia splits into rival blocs, raising the risk of superpower conflict. Third, regional fragmentation. ASEAN divides, the deal fails to deliver, and instability spreads. China overreaches, another nation pushes back, and conflict erupts. Fourth, the precarious balancing act. The Philippines and others hedge, playing China and the US against each other. The region becomes a web of shifting alliances, avoiding war but living with constant tension.
Each scenario carries enormous risks and opportunities. The choices made now will shape Asia's future for decades. Will the region find peace or become a permanent stage for great power rivalry? The answer is far from clear. The world's eyes are on Southeast Asia. The stakes, peace, prosperity, and the future of the global order. Every move will be watched and countered. The South China Sea is now the world's most dangerous chessboard. The next move could change everything. In conclusion, China's acceptance of the Philippine offer is a seismic event, one that could reshape the world order. It challenges decades of American power and alliances, with consequences for everyone. The stability of the global economy depends on these waters. Conflict here could trigger a worldwide crisis. The Philippine gamble is a test case for nations caught between giants. Its outcome will teach lessons to countries navigating US-China rivalry. A new partnership could redraw military maps, reroute supply chains, and fracture old alliances. It could force the US into retreat or a dangerous buildup, or spark a new era of peace. The future is unwritten, and the choices made now will echo for generations. History is not over. Great power competition has returned in a new form. The world is watching, waiting to see if this bold move leads to peace or peril.